We're here.
There it goes. All right, what's up, and welcome to the Boys of Fall. So, just in the very beginning here, those that are live, do me a favor and drop a comment that you're here. I am testing out a new program. I hope this looks okay. I hope it sounds okay. I hope all that stuff is looking all right. The program I use has got all kinds of issues, so we're starting fresh here. But first off, Ty, before we go, I was going to say, well, we don't have issues because we've been doing very well. Me and you, especially you, but I'm doing pretty damn good so far altogether. College football has been going really well these last like 2 to 3 weeks, I feel like.
College football has been fantastic so far. I feel like I'm seeing the board clearly. There's a few games where they get you. Specifically, to speak of Oregon last week, they got me. I'll tell you something right now. They will not be getting me tonight. They won't be getting me tonight. Okay. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I feel like a little Michigan is, Michigan State probably will cover. I don't know why. It's just Oregon. Oregon can't seem to put teams away. They love to hang around the number. But college football has been great.
It's finally come along. That's for sure. Seems so. It looks like I've got comments going here as well. Hopefully, you'll have to let me know if you have any sound or video issues or anything like that. But I can certainly see all that stuff. Corey, it's been a while since I've been here as well. For those of you that are unfamiliar, I had hip surgery, not this last Thursday, the Thursday before that. I didn't know if I was even going to make it to the show. I had to get my wife home so she could crawl under the desk and plug my laptop and stuff back in because I wasn't about to figure out if I could do it or not. But it is good to be back here. Hopefully we'll be back more on a regular basis. But like I said, we have been doing pretty good. You can see Ty and myself both went 4-1. And there was a moment where we were staring down a 10-0, it felt like. The Louisville Notre Dame was just really just a crazy miss. There were so many fumbles and turnovers and everything like that. And then the Oregon minus 25.5, like Ty said, really they're just not able to, put things away there. So frustrating. 8-2 is really fantastic.
I'm happy that the under lost, right? Because the last thing I would have wanted was it to be my play, the last game of the night to be the reason why the 10-leg gets cooked.
Right.
So
yeah, no, that could have hedged though.
It stinks.
For those that played the parlay.
Right. But if we were going to lose, I'm glad that we at least both gave up one, versus it all coming down to one person and then us getting cooked here live on camera, which is never good.
Sure. Yep.
But I'm excited for this weekend. 55
some really good
days straight.
Yeah.
55 days.
Yesterday
straight.
Was like that NFL game. Yesterday was just like a movie. It was just phenomenal. That was a great game yesterday. Kirk Cousins, as a Vikings fan, I couldn't be prouder of that guy.
You could have gotten rich off.
Crazy. Yeah, there was some potential to hit some stupid stuff. We still did pretty good, in the Discord and everything like that, So, but that's a fantastic question. If you haven't been around, he says, "What's that? Baba's Glock." First time in the stream. I am Jor. The other good-looking guy there next to me is Ty. So there you go. If you're new to the channel, I usually am live like Monday through Friday, Sunday mornings. But like I said, with the surgery, like I've been trying to figure that out and everything. So we got to get back to that action, So speaking of just weird Fridays, we have I didn't mean to click on that because I do not have an opinion on the Aces. If you got Jay Vandy on Twitter, he's been talking about it. But WNBA, I'm out on WNBA. It's 55 days of football, so there's no reason to mess with WNBA, in my opinion, right now.
I'll give you one. Aja Wilson, double. Lock it in. That's it's probably minus 280. I don't know.
Right.
Okay. Yep. I don't know anything about WNBA, but you might as well just lock that in.
She normally is getting the double. But like I said, speaking of Fridays, Houston's winning 14-0. They haven't scored in 8.5 quarters. It's been like 3 weeks since they've scored a touchdown. They're going potentially up 21-0 here. So weirdness. Ty, I got to pull my notes up still. Do you have, do you want to ride into, or unless you had something else, you want to hop into whatever you have?
Yeah, I was just gonna start off by saying, if you're in the Discord, we're on Houston Team Total live. So, if you're not in there, get in there.
Good for you.
Okay, yeah. A-Shot double minus 210. I knew it was somewhere around there. But yes, we're on Houston's Team Total live. When you sniff out something like this happening, you got to try and find value. And the money line was already cooked. But we can start off. We're going to go to the MAC. We could start. All right, I'm going to go to UMass versus NIU. 55 straight days of football. No more will you have to deal with Tuesdays and Wednesdays. What do I bet on? I guess I'll just bet on baseball. I'm not sure. Maybe WNBA. Don't have to worry about that. You're going to get football. You're going to get 22 dudes on a field running full speed into each other, chin straps locked up, pads popping. All right. 55 days. Well, now it's like 50, 54. This is the 54th day. But let's just start. Yep. NIU versus UMass. Okay. I sent you the number earlier. I believe you said it moved. Or no, that one did not move.
Sorry, I'm pulling it up right now. 41.5. Oh, that's the and okay. Yeah, I think you had the all 41.5.
Yeah. So we're taking. So that's what it's at now. You're telling me? I can pull it up.
No, it's at 42.5.
Okay, so we're going to move this down below the key number of 42, and we're going to be taking the over. All right, I know that this opened up at 44. They're not expecting much, but the Minutemen are giving up almost 30 points a game. All right, and NIU is allowing 20. All right, I don't know how much we get from UMass, but I'm thinking that we're going to get over 30 from the Huskies. All right, and the Minutemen are going to be able to help us out enough to get us over that hump. We're taking over 41.5. That's an alt line. We're going to move it down below the key number 42, and we're going to hit that over. Life's too short to bet an under. Remember that.
Speaking of unders, there's a Service Academy game tonight or tomorrow, and I could not decide if I like the under or the over. And I know you don't have a play on it. Did you have a lean on that total?
You're talking about the Navy Air Force game?
Yeah.
It's tough because my Heisman winner is Horvath, the quarterback in Navy. Right. He is the Jim Thorpe of Academy football. I've never seen a guy throw, pass. Most of the time I think he throws the ball and catches it himself. He's that damn good. He is the Academy football Travis Hunter, okay? So I would lean Navy team total. That's what I would do. You can trust that the Navy are going to, Billy Horvath is going to lead the boys and the boats. Who's going to carry the boats? Billy Horvath will. All right. That's what I would do. Take Navy team total. You can count on Navy.
They have.
What's your play? You're up next.
All right. Yeah. Speaking of service academies, I don't have an official play on IU. IU's been a wagon for me. I've been betting IU for the last. I think they've covered. What are they? I think they're 5-0. They've covered every game. They've looked fantastic every game. Just didn't really make the cut. But Army has been a team that's been covering. Army's been a team that's just been destroying people. Army minus 12.5. It was 11.5 when I text Ty. When I was putting things together and when I made a couple of little lines of notes here, it moved to 12.5. It doesn't matter as long as it's under 13.5, or at 13.5 or lower. Then that's I'm certainly okay with that. Big matchup on both sides, or big mismatch on both sides of the field. Tulsa ranks near bottom in tackling and finishing drives on defense, aka when teams get in the red zone, they're allowing teams to score. That's just horrendous against a team that's running the triple option, a team that's just looking fantastic, a team that's top 25 in finishing drives themselves on offense. When Tulsa has the ball, it's nothing special. Army's defense has been strong. Army, like I said, soft spot in my heart next to IU. Gonna go with the Knights to cover the minus 12.5, and they've been winning just very, very convincingly. And the fact that I think they've scored on every single opening drive that they've had this year. And I think going back to like last year, they've got some kind of streak going on. So they've been doing very well for themselves. So Army minus 12.5 is going to be my first play, my Service Academy play. Now
Go Navy, beat Army. All right.
go. I will have a little bit of an investment in a Navy money line. Just in like a little parlay that I have together, a little safer type parlay. But yeah, I couldn't quite get home on the total there. But Ty, my next, I'm not going to do it now. We'll lead into a little bit of a FOMO here. My second play might be my favorite play on the board, and I don't know why. It's just I don't know if it's like sicko, gross. Maybe other people like it. But what is your next play?
So I'm all over another over. Overs Club only members benefit from this show. Okay. Benefit from the show. Okay. We're going Virginia Tech for Stanford. Okay. I believe the line is moved. DraftKings is not loading for me. Here we go.
49
okay. 49.5. We are going over there. I would have taken it up at 51. Okay. Virginia Tech and the people they have played, it's gone over 53 out of 5 games this year. All right. Together, both of these teams together, they're averaging almost 58 points a game. All right. I'm taking this game over. All right. And let me give you a little sneak peek here because the dogs bark at the end of the show. All right. The dogs love to bark. Stanford money line. The Cardinals money line. I don't know if they can do it. I feel like they can. It's a perfect spot for them. They're on the road. The Hokies are not that great this year. And the Cardinals can score. So we're going the threes, the over, and I'm sprinkling the money line.
Speaking of, just weird Friday night football, last Friday, I believe it was, they upset Syracuse, and I was very, very surprised at that. Stanford looked really good, and I think Syracuse is better probably than both of those teams. So I think that's got a really good shot. I like that. All right.
Well, thank you.
I'm not going to say that full name. I'm going to call you Kat. I think we alluded to a little bit. Oregon's been weird for us. I don't have anything particular. Ty had mentioned that he thinks MSU could potentially cover just because of, and I actually probably would agree with that. They've got a nice little look ahead spot. I believe they play Ohio State next week. So they're likely going to get up in the first half and then maybe coast and kind of close the game out that way. And who knows, maybe Michigan State can score a touchdown, maybe 2. And then that's all it'll take to potentially get a cover.
If you were to take it, I believe it's at 23.5, maybe. I would eat the juice and take it up over the key number. I can't express how important that is to buy these numbers when you can do it, especially from a 23.5 to a 24.5. 24 is a football number. 23 isn't so much. So I'd buy it up to 24.5. For
sure, definitely. All right. This play is really not that exciting. We talk about overs only club. I have an under, and it's actually a first half under. So gross, right? Skip the next play. Georgia versus Auburn under 27.5, and I think that 27.5 is going to be very important. If the number drops to 26.5, I probably wouldn't take it, as that's just, we're talking key numbers, So Georgia and not scoring points in the first half goes together like peanut butter and jelly, right? Spaghetti and meatballs, whatever it's going to be. Georgia is not scoring points in the first half. Of the 130 odd some teams, I think 133, 134 FBS teams, Georgia ranks 123rd in points scored in the first half. Auburn ranks 98th worst at 9.5 points per half. Neither of these teams are scoring very often. On the defensive side, Georgia's allowing 18 points per game, which has them 24th best, and just 12 points given up at half. They're not scoring much at half. They're not allowing other teams to score. Georgia's defense is obviously great. This is no Bama game. There is not going to be 28 points in the first quarter or whatever it was last time. Of course, we have a chance of Georgia potentially going up, pretty big on Auburn. But last year in this game, we have two familiar coaches, two familiar teams. Last year it was 10-10 tie going into half. 2022 was 14-0 Georgia. 21 it was 17-3 Georgia, and in 2020 it's the farthest I'm going to go back. It was 24-3 Georgia. So you can see it could be tied, it could be low scoring, or Georgia could be blowing them out in a 24-3 fashion. And all of those examples is an under 27.5 as what is probably my favorite play on the board, but my second play that I have here. And I don't know if it's gross, I don't know if it's weird, but I do like it a lot. A lot.
Well, like I always say, it's not American to root for points, and that's 2 weeks in a row now. You've not rooted for points.
And who knows, maybe
But
that's the only loss I have.
It's okay, because I got something for you. The dogs are barking. The dogs are barking, okay? We're going to go to Big Ten country, okay? Rutgers versus Nebraska. You guys who are in the Discord, you know I love the Scarlet Knights. I love how gritty they play. The defense is phenomenal. They run the ball so well. You got the big uglies up front hitting other uglies on the other side of the ball. I'm taking Rutgers. We're moving it because it's 6.5 now. I'm taking it to plus 7.5, and you know what we're doing. Sprinkle the money line. The dogs are barking. They're always barking. By the way, last week on the dogs, I went 3 for 5. Should have been 4 for 5. But it's okay. 3 for 5 on the dogs. Rutgers wins outright. Big. They win big by at least a touchdown. So maybe not that big, but kind of big. Rutgers plus 7.5.
There you go. You have to
gotta bring the energy.
Yeah, right. There you go. I always forget about the dog plays. I mean, obviously they're unofficial, little sprinkles. I mean, we could have made, could probably have them as a list. You have to remind me how, how you did last time, and then we'll talk about, the ones that you got, towards the end there. Let's see. I'm trying to look and see, because I actually have a dog as that's actually gonna be my last play though. So I got a dog coming. I feel like I'm staying a little mainstream. Well, let's see. I'm feeling a little mainstream after these first two plays. So to recap myself, I had the Army minus 12.5 versus Tulsa. I have Georgia and Auburn under 27.5 first half. My third play is Ohio State against Iowa. I kind of went back and forth with this one to thinking that I might have liked the over, but I'm going with Ohio State minus the 18.5. I know that I was got a good defense, or they used to have a good defense. Not so much anymore. On the ground, they're giving up the 5th lowest rush yards in the nation. I mean, sure, that's fine and dandy. Ohio State's got a pretty good quarterback in Howard. They got some pretty good receivers. I'm not overly worried about them not being able to run the ball through the air. They're allowing the 84th most yards in the league, and they haven't really played teams that pass the ball overly well. I think Ohio State's going to be able to score really with no issue here. They're just so explosive. And the question realistically at this point is, how well is Iowa going to do offensively? Last week, they faced Minnesota. They won 31-14. Cade McNamara only threw for 62 yards in that game. And now I understand their running back ran for 206 yards, but Cade did not look good. McNamara has really not looked that good. Troy. They played Troy the game before. Troy put up 21 points against Iowa. Ohio State does not allow that many points. They're averaging less than a touchdown given up per game so far. I just don't see this being a point where I was going to move the ball very well. And I was giving up a lot of explosive plays, and that's how Ohio State gets you. That's the difference I feel in the past, that Iowa right now is getting killed on explosive plays. Ohio State is going to put up explosive passes. And I think Ohio State just runs away with the game. I mean, we're talking, I'm not going to give you a total, but it's going to be one of those like, wow, I was not good. That's what we're going to say at the end of the football game. Ty?
And I'm going to take Ohio State team total.
Iowa State.
That's what they're going to do. Ohio State team total.
Yeah.
Yeah, they score. That's what they like to do. You
You
got
said
Chip Kelly at the
you said
helm.
that's what you were
He does
gonna
have,
do, or you were planning on doing it?
no, I'm for sure doing that.
Gotcha.
That
Yeah.
was,
No, I think
a
so.
play of mine. I was gonna save it for the Discord, but I'll feed it to the team out here, feed it to the
There you go. The
family.
people that are live.
Ohio State with a Chip Kelly that doesn't have to worry about defense, what the hell the team's doing, discipline, kids messing up. All he has to worry about is offense. He's in the lab. He's on the whiteboard that's right behind me, cooking up schemes to score points. Okay, that's what the guy does. It's the only thing he knows. He's not married, no kids. He only knows offense.
Right.
Taking Ohio State team total every week until they make it too high. I can't take it.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
that's what I'm doing.
what's that number? 50? Because I mean, they're putting up points.
No, I'm still taking it at 50. Depends who they're playing.
Right.
All right.
Take it.
I'm gonna take it every week till they lose.
Right. No, that's probably fair. That's probably fair.
And then when it doesn't look like it's gonna hit, I'm just gonna live bet the team total because they will probably hit the live number. If they don't score first quarter and it drops, I'm gonna take that.
Right.
Talking about points, let's move on to the next game. You already know where I'm at. Overs Club members only play again. You gotta get your Overs Club only yearly subscription in. We only bet overs. It's only for people that like points and that are American. Not really American, just, patriotic individuals. If you're not American, that's fine. But we're going to go to Rock Chalk Jayhawk versus ASU. And I'm taking the total over. All right. Every single Arizona State game has gone over this total this year. Kansas can't stop a nosebleed. They can't barely figure out how to win, but the one thing they can figure out how to do is score and be scored on. So those are three things that you can guarantee in life: death, taxes, and Kansas points. Okay, so we're taking the over in this game. If you put their numbers together, they're combined for over 60 points, and they both give up over 45 together. This game's going to be, I think, mid-70s. Give me the over. 250s? It's a joke. How is that even real? That's the number that's set at. It's a trap game. I know it. It's going to be like 10-13. But I don't care. We're going over. Don't care.
Depends on what version of Daniel shows up. That dude's all over the place.
All right.
Anyhow,
West Virginia State.
I like the quarterback.
Go ahead.
Oklahoma State. Bowman? I think Bowman has a good passing game. I think it's gonna be a close game. So I mean, that really comes down to teams that are able to bet, player props and stuff like that. I don't have an opinion on this side. Although I feel like Oklahoma, I think they're a short favorite at home. I would probably lean Oklahoma State, I think. But I think Bowman, because it's a closer game, and he's just
-3.
throwing the hell out of the ball. I feel like Bowman's pass yards is going to be a good look. Super good.
Well, let me tell you something. The dogs are barking on Saturday. West Virginia is going to go down to Oklahoma State and come back home with a victory.
We'll see.
Okay. Well, maybe Mike Gundy will have the boys ready. I don't know what's going to happen. It's 3 points. The total's high, 64. I think it gets there, though. West Virginia can score. They get scored on a lot, too. But go ahead.
Houston just ran for a 71-yard touchdown.
Shut up.
Yeah. It's 23-6. Dude, it's ridiculous. What is going on? I'm about to, honestly, Fridays, I bet it it's a normal day. And Fridays have just been, you joked and said that, dogs run faster on Fridays or Thursdays, whatever you said the other day. That's got to be true. That's got to be true.
But I wasn't joking. It's science. Now, yesterday they didn't do it. I might have had the days mixed up. I said Thursday night home dogs run faster.
It's Friday nights. Quandale, first off, I'm about to talk about your team. And honestly, I'm not really a big fan of talking about your dang team. But I'm about to talk about your team. But Prez, the hockey capper, Spread, the tennis capper, both wanting to get into some streams or buying some cameras, buying some mics, and they are interested in trying to get on there, watch some football games, get on there and just kind of get comfortable, in front of a camera or whatever. So that stuff should be probably coming back here, I'd imagine, at some point here soon, as we're going to be getting, more people involved. And obviously just life happens and stuff too. Tennessee, I thought about first quarter. I've been hitting on that first quarter for a while. I mean, Tennessee scores, I think, now the second most points in the first quarter compared to any other team. I forget who's first. They had been first for the longest, but I figured why risk it? Why risk a slow start or whatever? I think you go Tennessee minus 13.5 versus Arkansas tomorrow. Tennessee's the real deal. In the first 3 games, they outscored their opponents 191-13. Obviously 3-0 within that time frame, if you could imagine. They go into Boomer Sooner territory. Oklahoma runs for 36 yards on like 34 carries, something like that. Oklahoma benches their quarterback. Tennessee's defense shut him down so bad. Their defense looked phenomenal. Nebraska obviously is nowhere near, I think, the talent of Oklahoma, but who knows? Maybe Arnold really is that bad. Maybe, Oklahoma's offense is struggling that much, but Nebraska's not going to find the success here. With the line under 2 touchdowns, I feel like they have a good 2 touchdown lead at half, and then they continue to break it open, afterwards there. Tennessee minus the 13.5. Honestly, Tennessee to win the first quarter, win the second quarter, win the third, the fourth. Tennessee very well may score and not stop scoring. But I'm going to play safe and just go with the Tennessee minus 13.5. Under a touchdown feels just really phenomenal, honestly, in the line. Maybe it's a trap, maybe it's not. But Tennessee, I think, is going to continue to show that they're definitely the real deal. Go Orange. Oh, Ty? I can't hear you. Hold on. Nope.
Quan, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. I can hear you. Can you not hear me?
Let me tell you something. Good teams win. Great teams. Yeah, I can hear you.
You cannot?
Yes, I can hear. Gosh. Yo, Jort, you got.
Go,
yes, I can.
go.
You have to pony up for this. Dude, you got to pony up for the 50. This is trash. This Evmux is the worst thing ever. I'll split it with you. All right? Good teams win. Great teams cover. All right? They didn't do that against Oklahoma.
That's true.
The only reason why I'm going to say that is because Quan's here. All right? Good teams win. Great teams cover. Turns out they didn't do that. Did Houston? Oh, no, that's the old play. All right. Sorry. I just double dipped. If anybody's interested, I just took Houston team total over 33.5. I'm just handing out free ones tonight. Why not? But we move on. All right. I like the Vols play. And you know how we're going to finish this. We're going to finish this with a team total. Okay. We're going to go down to where the turf is blue and the Broncos are bucking. And there's a running back down there that could start right now for your favorite NFL team. That's Boise State Broncos. All right. And I'm taking their team total all the way to 45.5, and we're going to take the over. Right now, they're killing us at the key numbers. 44.5 is minus 165. 45.5 is minus 120. Boise is going to get us 48 points. All right. If you want, you can take the spread too. I think they cover that easily. But I think it'll be more fun to take this Boise State team total. I want to watch Jonte just run all over the place, score, touchdowns, Heisman pose. And what did I give you last week? Didn't I say, or 2 weeks ago, Travis Hunter for the Heisman? I said that last week.
Yeah. He's
now the second favorite. The Discord took that in the preseason when it was 35-1 plus 3,500. We had that.
It's pretty good.
Boise team total. The Broncos are running wild all over the place. The blue turf is ablazing.
Did you see what his anytime touchdown odds were?
Who?
Gen,
I
how do we
don't
say his
get
name?
props.
Genti or whatever. Oh, that's right. So on FanDuel, it's minus
I see.
2,000. That's insane. Like, why even list it?
No, he's scoring 3 or 4. What
I
is it for?
know,
What
but
is it
it's
for 3 plus?
plus 110.
No, what is it for 3 plus?
To score 3+ touchdown is
Okay,
plus 110.
see, Jonty's gonna be running wild.
That's insane.
Yeah, he's gonna be running wild all over Utah State. The Aggies are about to get rolled on. They're covering their spread. They're going over their team total. They might even hit the team total 66. I mean, the game total is 66. I'm not taking that. They're going to score as 48 minimum, and they're covering. I'd buy that down below 27 at 26.5, though. That's what I would do.
That's just incredible. That's so crazy that they even list it, honestly.
Yeah. But
Wild.
let's get on to your next play. Let's get on to your next
Yep.
play, which is the worst team in college football. But I'm with you on it. Go ahead.
No, I do hate it too. So before I do talk about it, so we're gonna be wrapping up towards the end here. Where's there we go. There's my mouse. Trent,
Throw that comment up there. Throw that
I was
comment
gonna say Trent, perfect. Ty, I feel like on this other program, I don't really like it either, but I think you actually have control to do it too. I'm not sure though. Anyway, before we talk about the Michigan and the Washington game, we're sitting about 31 minutes. We hover around 35 to 40 minutes. We are right there in terms of our timing. We've been doing pretty good with it. Now is certainly the time. I'm going to give my play. We'll look at the recap. Ty will remind us of the dogs that we're on, and then let's fill the chat with any potential questions that you guys might have. If you are watching on Twitter, hop on over to YouTube. I have the link on my Twitter. It's pinned at the top. That way you can get in. You can answer those questions, but that way we got stacking questions. We can go through those instead of the awkward silence or whatever. And if there's no questions, obviously we'll just hop out of here and give you guys some time back. But my last play is what?
Man, corporate George showed out. We'll give you your time back.
Oh yeah. Michigan money line. I do like the dog. Michigan money line over Washington. Washington's banged up. They're gonna be missing some receivers. They got some other guys questionable. This is going to be a gross game, I think. I don't think there's going to be a lot of points. I think you have to side with the better defense, and Michigan does quite honestly have the better defense. You would hope that Orgy can kind of figure it out, start to break some big runs, or start throwing the ball or something. Their offense hasn't really been there. But I think in a game where it's going to be a sluggish, gross kind of game, I think you got to go with the defense. When this line came out, preseason, I believe, like the look ahead line, it was a 10.5 point spread. Michigan as the favorites, the 10.5, roughly 10 point, spread. Washington, lost everybody. Washington lost the coach, all that stuff. And I think if you compare these two teams now, is it really a 10 point difference? Is it really a 10 point swing to what I think Michigan has compared to, what Washington's been doing? I mean, I was on Washington the other day. They won pretty comfortably, but Michigan's got the defense. Michigan's offense is going to turn it around, ideally. And I think Michigan just goes in and gets themselves a win and, take the money line there. Ty agrees, although we don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, look, Rutgers beat Washington. Yeah. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, Michigan, the fact that they're plus, it honestly feels like a trap. All right, because usually the books will give 3 points for home field advantage for one of these bigger schools like Washington or these big time programs, and you're not getting that. So essentially, you got to look at it is Michigan is favored by -2. Okay, because usually it would be at least a 3 point spread given for home field advantage. That's not the case. I would have thought, even though that they're on the road, that this would have been Michigan -6.5, Michigan -9. That number seems really weird to me. So they baited me. They got me. I'm all over Michigan. Okay, I'm taking them. Now it's time for my favorite part of the show, my dogs. Okay, and Michigan's one of them. They're a small dog, but
Hold on. It's got to be hold on. Your mic's doing like the poppy thing again. It's not. Hey, well, first off, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
But everyone, there, now it goes. So I don't. That cord's got to be loose. Go ahead.
Dude, stop talking about my cord, okay? We're going Stanford, money line. We're going Michigan, money line. We're going Kansas, money line. The Rock Chalk Jayhawks figure it out. They're going to give up a ton, but they're going to score more. SMU, money line. And finally, the Scarlet Knights up there in Jersey, where the first football game was ever played in a patch of dirt. We're going Rutgers, money line. The dogs bark tomorrow, big or small, doesn't matter. They all bark the same. Plus, money pays us.
And you said you were 4-5 last week, or 3-4?
3-5. We missed the Western Kentucky. They were plus 8.5. They lost by 1 point. They were winning the whole game. They lost in like the final seconds on a field goal.
Yeah, I mean that plus money. You know that's certainly some profit. That's for sure. Oh, ouch.
Yeah.
Oh, why is it not going to the big? There it goes. Okay. All right. So to get the recap in, I don't think I've seen too many questions, or if any. So we'll give you guys a chance. But Ty's going with UMass NIU over 41.5, Virginia Tech versus Stanford over 49.5, Rutgers plus 7.5, Kansas versus Arizona State over 50.5, Boise State over 45.5 team total. I'm with Army minus 12.5, Georgia and Auburn under 27.5 in the first half, Ohio State minus 18.5, Tennessee minus 13.5, and Michigan money line is where we are sitting. For those that you were not around, this is what the recap looked like last week. We were both 4-5. We are trying to get after that inevitable 10-0. Was just looking over at FanDuel. If you add all 10 together, I'm not saying it's always the best idea, but it's a plus 50,000 some odd parlay. I feel that we have all year to go 10-0. Who's to say that this recap here doesn't look like a 10-0? I don't know. I think it looks good. I like my plays. Ty, I like your plays too.
Listen, when I look at my plays, this is what I hear. Overs only, baby. Life's too short. Real Americans take points.
So if we go 9-1 and we lose on the under first half, then I get it at that point.
They're banned. Yeah. Unders are banned. Yeah. They have to.
Right.
If I lose on an over, though, and that's the only one, we're not going to ban
that. Ty's mic's doing the weird pop thing again, unfortunately. I'm sure it'll stop. But nobody asked any questions, so we are probably good to potentially get out of here. I'll give you guys just a second. We appreciate you guys popping in. Be sure to like the channel if you haven't. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Like I had mentioned, people said they hadn't seen me in a while. Hopefully, I'll be getting back to some live shows and stuff again. Just kind of have to figure it out. It's not as easy to kind of hop around, on one foot and stuff, and carry a laptop and hook my stuff up. It's, I'm still in pain medicine and everything, too. So Quandale says Tennessee's a lock. Mike from Goodwill. That's not true. But
these are $200 mics. These are $200 mics. I got two of them, so
got two of them. Damn,
tough.
Baller. Ty, do you have any closing words?
No. 54 days of green starts now.
Maybe not for me, because TCU just did not show up.
Take the live team total with me. Go green.
You can always salvage that. Okay. Appreciate you guys. I'm going to play the outro. Listen to some Friday Night Lights again. We will see you guys back at 8:30 as always. Thanks for watching, and we will see you guys back next week. Peace.